So, if I had 5 minutes to say anything I could to all the pastors across the nation, I would probably say three things. Number one, build young. Our generation is the next generation of leaders. There's no way around it. So we look at people like you and we glean off you. You guys have been through so many things and you have so much experience. You know what to do, you know what not to do, and what to avoid. And we glean off people like you. We need people like you to connect with people like us and show us what to avoid and how to get through things and teach us, guide us, and give us some helpful hints so that we can go even further than you have. And that we can turn around and do the same thing to the generation after us so that they can go even further than us, because it's not a competition. It's the kingdom of God and we want to advance it. So we look at people like you, we glean off you, and we've kind of got a problem of entitlement. It kind of comes with an arrogance. We think that we deserve certain things, and that's something that we've got to work through. But part of that is someone like you getting behind us and giving us a nice, quick, swift kick to the rear and saying, hey, you need to step it up. You're the next generation of leaders, and we want to see you guys succeed. So we need people like you. So help bridge that gap. We want to learn from you. Make yourself available. Let us ask questions. Let us just watch you. An apprenticeship. That's what we're looking for. So number two, methodologies. I think so often pastors and churches get wrapped around the axle about methodologies, how we do things, and they completely forget why we do them. And I think that, honestly, that's a root of legalism, because if you get wrapped around the how and forget the why, that can actually become an idol. A lot of times people say, well, this is the only way to do an outreach, or this is the only way to present the gospel, or this is the only way to do youth group. And really, that's not even biblical. That's just a methodology of why you're doing something. And when you say that this methodology is the only way of doing it, you're really making it an idol. So my suggestion is release those things. As culture changes, so should methodologies. And the funny thing is, to prove my point, everyone's probably stepped inside of a church before, and it seems like you've stepped in a time warp, and it's like, wow, this was 30 years ago. And the honest truth is, 30 years ago, that church was probably off the chain, and they were on the cutting edge. But because they never changed their methodologies, they, all of a sudden, they become irrelevant. And we talk about being relevant and stuff, and I think oftentimes we think that means watering down the gospel, which leads me into my third point. Don't water down the gospel. Be real. We don't want to be relevant by watering down the gospel. That's not relevant at all. That's just watering down the gospel. What I mean is, you're not showing that the gospel can be relevant by watering it down. You're just showing the relevance that the gospel already has. So the gospel is timeless. It is already relevant. You don't have to add or take anything away. And the fact is, it's going to offend some people. But you don't water it down or change the meaning just so you can get more people in the door. You have to be real and take a stand for what you believe in. And that's what I respect about pastors like Mark Driscoll and John Piper. And there's countless pastors out there that do that. But I really like it when a pastor can stand up and say, you know what, these are the close-fisted items that I'm not going to budge on because I'm not going to water down the gospel. So those are the three things that I would suggest. Thank you.